Good evening, my dear brothers, sisters and friends. Today is Friday, October the 2nd, 2015. We are having our weekly meditation session. How are you today? I'm very happy to be with the Sangha, with the brothers and the sisters in this evening after a few weeks absent from the temple. According to my schedule, I travel quite a lot lately to share practice and also retreats in North America. And I deeply appreciate all the hard work of the young monastics. Especially last week, we have a full day in Westlock. How many of you were in Westlock last Saturday? Did you enjoy so far? Very much. I think even though I'm not home, but I always keep contact to see how everything going. Even Friday night, after the session here, you are in Westlock, and I contact Peter to see how are the brothers and sisters, the Sangha there. And I heard about more than 30 of you attend a full day. I was thinking that if it's possible, we may have another day like that in winter time, so you can enjoy your quiet time in Westlock Meditation Center. And you know that one of my wish, my dream, when I establish the Westlock Center, is for the Sangha to have their retreat. So even though you cannot attend 3 days, 4 days or more, at least you will try to stay overnight, one night and a full day, so you can have more time into your practice. And because when we go to Westlock and everything is away from the noisy, so it's more time for you to relax, and the environment will help us a lot. Of course, when we practice, the mind is the most important. No matter where you live, even in this quiet environment, as long as your inside is stable, solid, then you don't have to worry. But in our daily life, we still have too much contact, and very easy to distract us away from our mindfulness. So always remind ourselves, mindfulness is our teacher. Mindfulness is the right guidelines. And for those who are very new to the term, mindfulness means be very careful, be very aware of the situation, of the environment, of every single thought that arises in our mind. Because if we follow the negative thinking, the negative thoughts regularly, we become the negative habit of thinking. And then from the thoughts, it will guide us to the action. It will guide us to the speech. And with our mindfulness, we just follow all the negative actions, negative speech, and we become a negative person. And we do not like to contact or socialize with a negative person. That means every single time when we speak, we have no peace, no joy. Every time we react, and our reacts always hurt the others. So therefore we come to the practice in order to transform the negative habits that we now become a real habit in ourselves, in us. Let's say we are now 40 years old, and in the past 40 years, we haven't had any chance to reflect back how we lived, how we act, how we talked. And when we realize we hurt, we damage a lot of communication, we damage a lot of beauty things in ourselves. So coming to the practice is not something, not anything new, but more chance, more time for us to come back, to see, to reflect ourselves. Mindfulness is like a beautiful mirror, a bright mirror, to help us to reflect, to shine very clearly on our daily routine. If we are not mindful enough, we may waste our day. Every time when I am away from the temple, I'm not with my young monks. I miss them. I miss them a lot. And silently, it's like I talk to them. I say, my dear students, you know that Thầy is away from home, but I'm working. I'm working for the sake of others. And I hope that you understand and try your best to practice at home. Every time when I'm thinking of them. And that is something I silently pretend that I'm talking directly to them. And I think, mind contact, instead of speak up into words, I have that kind of thought in my mind. And I hope that they do receive my mind message, my silent message. Are you? And I think because of that, and they have done a good job, they put their effort into taking care for the Sangha. And I think it is also a good chance for them to grow up in this environment, because I grew up in this same environment. They are more lucky than me, because when they ordain as a young monastic like this, they have friends, they have brothers, like 7, 8 of them together. When I was a young novice, nobody with me. I'm alone. But one thing that I'm not lonely. We have to be sure we are alone. But we are not lonely. Lonely is the feeling. Lonely is the feeling. Alone is something you have to be alone. Sometimes we say, leave me alone. Why? Because I'm too tired. I need somebody to leave me alone. So that means alone is something very real, very true, and very needed. But make sure we don't have the feeling of lonely. I always have a very bad karma about my flight status. I was stay overnight in the Chicago airport last Friday. I stayed overnight there because in Chicago there was a storm, big rain. So my flight from Philadelphia to Chicago was delayed for 6 hours. So when I arrived in Chicago, it's already midnight. And they told me that there is no more flight back to Edmonton, so you have to stay here overnight. And they cannot afford for the hotel because this is weather, not their fault. not the airline fault. That's why they cannot afford for a hotel. So we have to stay overnight in the airport. And what do I do during the time when I was alone like that? Rest. Meditation. So therefore, we keep in mind, sometime after a busy day, a tired day, a stressful day, we want some time to be quiet. We want some time to rest. And how do we rest? We close our eyes, we close our ears, nothing else. No music, no talking, nothing that we can use the eyes, the ears, or speech, just totally rest. Rest like a pebble. Do you remember sometime I gave you an example about resting like a pebble? When you throw a pebble into the pond and slowly the pebble will sink down and touch the very bottom of the lake and stay there. And sometimes we need to let our body rest and down like a pebble, down in deep in the water and stay at the base of the lake. And if we're able to do that, we don't need a lot of hours to sleep. Sometimes 4, 5 hours, but you sleep deep. It's better than you sleep hours, like 12 hours, 10 hours. But after you wake up, you feel tired. And do you realize that sometimes when the body, the physical body is too tired, our sleep different than when it's a regular day we sleep? How can we tell? We cannot tell, but people who still awake, they look at us, the way we sleep, the way we breathe, they can tell we have a very tired day and our sleep is very tired, right? So if a day just a regular routine, we go to bed on time, we sleep on time, and no worries, no fear, nothing heavy that carry in our mind, our sleep easier, faster, and very well. Sleep tight, sleep well. So that's why before we go to bed, we say good night, sleep tight, sleep well. That is the wish. So you see that in our daily life, every day when we wake up, we say good morning. Make sure you have a good morning. Do not turn your morning upside down. And then when we go to bed, we say good night. Make your night possible. Make your night positive. There are tons of things for you to worry during the day. There is no worth for you to continue to worry when you call resting. You call the night we sleep is a resting hour. Then make sure we rest. It's like a vehicle. It's like a car. We drive for a day. We need to turn the motor, the engine off to let it cool. Otherwise it's burned. The physical body is the same. So the Buddha advised us. Mindfulness means we know how to take good care for the body and the mind. And what is our daily practice here? What is the mindfulness for? In order to learn the art of taking care for the body and the mind. Once we know how to taking care for our own body, our own mind, then we have enough qualified to taking good care for the others, especially our loved one. When we sleep with someone, like our husband, our wife. That means the one who sleeps very near to us, they also need a good sleep too. If we are unable to sleep, what happened to the other one? They also cannot sleep because we turn around, and we make even somebody sleep next to us, like another bed, but they still cannot sleep because they can hear our turning. And usually when we are unable to sleep, we feel the night is so long. Have you ever experienced like that? When we're able to sleep, we wake up, we say, wow, time's so fast. I don't have enough sleep. But any night we cannot sleep. We feel the night is so long. We look at the clock and we are waiting for the morning. And the Buddha said, a very long night for the one who cannot sleep. The reincarnation is very hard and suffering for the one who's still in the rhyme of death and birth, or birth and death. We are in the cycle of birth and death, and this cycle is too long for all of us, the same as the night is too long for the one who is unable to sleep. So what is sleeping mean? Sleeping mean when we're able to absence our five senses. Eyes, no more contact. Ears, no more contact. Tongues, no more contact. Body, no more contact. We don't smell anything, just breathe. At the time we sleep, we only follow our breath. Nothing else for us to smell. Nothing else for us to taste. Nothing else for us to touch. Nothing else for us to see. Nothing else for us to hear. So we close all of that to let the five senses rest. And if we're able to, let's say if your mind still thinking, then all the five senses open. Right? When the mind thinking, worry too much, we cannot sleep. And when we cannot sleep, our eyes still open. We can hear a lot of things around. We can smell something. And what happened? Sometimes we're hungry. If we cannot sleep, we feel hungry. Then we have to wake up and eat. And when you eat too full, you also cannot sleep. When you're too hungry, you still cannot sleep. But what is one of the ways to help us sleep well? Drink warm water at night before you go to bed. That's one of the technique. Naturally, you don't need to take sleep aid or sleeping pills. Drink warm water because the warm water will help you to circulate, to help the blood circulate and help our digestion good so we can sleep well. So for those, or you can drink a warm glass of milk. When you can drink a warm glass of milk, it also helps you to sleep well. So the mindfulness helps us. When you come to the practice like this, do not think that you are come to a religion, a faith, a belief. But you are coming to the practice. You are coming for the technique, the art of living. How to make our day more beautiful. How to make our day more meaningful. And once your day is beautiful, you offer that beautiful to many others. If we have a plant, let's say an orchid, Every time when we bought a new orchid, the flower is so beautiful, and we leave it at home, and usually it can last for 6 months. But because we don't know how to take good care for the orchid die in 2 weeks. Then now we need to search. We need to find how to take good care for the orchid. Any plant, they have the way, the instruction how to keep this plant last long and give us more flower. Some plant need lot of sun. Some plant cannot have lot of sun. Some plant need just little water. Some plant need lot of water. And every plant, they have their own instruction how to taking care for the plant. Each of us is like a plant. And we need to pay attention to each other, how to take good care for this plant. And this plant will say how to take good care for this plant. This is the interbeing. This is because that is. That is because this is. I am able to travel around to share with all the friends, with all the Sangha around the world, because I have my Sangha here to help me to run the activities here. So I have them, that's why I'm able to travel. The more I travel, the more I experience, I come back and I share with this Sangha. We cannot we cannot detach ourselves from anything, anyone. And because we are together, that's why we need to learn how to make this together last long and healthy. Last long is one point, but how is last? Is very weak or strong and happy? We all need a last. We all need the long love, the long communication, the long united. But make sure it's a healthy united. It's like a physical body. We live long but healthy. Not live long but lot of sickness. Very weak. This afternoon there was a monk from Vietnam. He came from Vietnam, he visited, and he only spent about 5 days here, not even a week yet. But he realized that I work a lot. And I have lack of sleep. And he interviewed me. He said, now I would like to ask you a question. What is the technique? What is the secret? I can see that you work a lot. You don't sleep much, but how come you still have a lot of energy? From morning to night. He interviewed, he asked, but we all know the question. We all know the answer. And the answer is the energy of the mind. The mind is very important. Because once the mind is happy, and you feel happy to do all the things for others, that's become the food to nourish us. This is the food of wishes, the food of invisible. We cannot eat, we cannot swallow, but this food is very creative. The more you use it, the more you have it. It's not like the edible food. You need to put in the mouth and you bite into pieces and then you swallow. This food is invisible. But what can make this food available? Mindfulness. You come here regularly and you will hear me introduce you this word. But every time I introduce you, I have a new definition for the word mindfulness. Because mindfulness is the art of living. The more you art, the more you create. The more you learn something new from there. The Buddha gave us a lot of ways to help us maintain mindfulness. One day, there was a prince who passed by the Buddha. And he sit beside the Buddha and he asked the Buddha a question. Dear Lord Buddha, do you sleep well? Do you always have good sleep? And the Buddha said, of course, I always have good sleep. And I can tell you, I am the most person who sleeps very well. He asked why. And the Buddha gave an example. Let me ask you a question. Let's say if a very rich man who can sleep in a very luxury house, good bed, good blanket, good pillow, everything is so good, do you think he sleeps well? And the prince said, yes, he sleeps very well. The Buddha said, let's suppose if one day he still sleeps exactly the same, he still have everything the same, but in his mind, lot of worries, lot of hatred, lot of greed, lot of ignorance, lot of things for him to worry. His family is always fighting. Do you think he sleeps well? And the prince said, of course not. And the Buddha said, same thing. I am the one who have no worries. That's why I always sleep well. So what is the art to help us sleep well? Less worry. Doesn't mean we don't worry. We do worry. But we have to learn the art when and how. If we have no worry, life is not possible. Let's say I worry that we don't have enough heat for the building. That's why I will call the company to come here to inspect before we have winter. That is a kind of worry. But I should know that when and how. If I worry for the furnace in the winter time, then I should contact any company that able to work on the furnace. And that will be done in the daytime. Let's say if I have that kind of worry raise up during my sleeping time, then I will say, okay, tomorrow I will contact the company. Then I have the answer. I know when and how. Then I have settled that worry down. But sometimes we have the habit, we worry. But every single thing we worry, but we don't know why. And it's not necessary for us to be worried at this time, but we still worry. So that's why it's affect. So as a human, we cannot have no worry. We still have worry. But the practice here, when and how. Sometimes we mix up. A thing we should do during the daytime, then we do at nighttime. Things supposed to be, keep it away then we bring it up to the daytime. The same as when we eat, just put away the newspaper, turn off the TV, just enjoy the meal. We don't do that. We turn on television. We put the newspaper beside. We turn on the radio. We keep talking. And when we ask, what are you doing? I am eating. We answer this way, but we do the other way. We say, I am eating, but during the eating, we watch TV. And we define, hey, that man is like this lady is like that. Do you know anything news about this guy? We talk and a lot of things, nothing related to the meal. And this is how we are. It's nothing wrong. It's not a sin, it's not a sin. But we don't know how to live clearly with what are we doing in the present moment. And that's why we cannot settle everything, because everything mixes up from small to small. And later on, it's become a big, major mess. I can give you an example. Let's say if you finish your dish, just one dish, rinse it, put on, never have a full sink of dirty dishes. When we have a full sink of dirty dishes, we're lazy to wash. When you go back home, you hang up your jacket, your coat, then you don't see the mess. But you say, oh, just one coat is okay, there. One pair of shoes is okay, there. And then later on, we have the whole house, every single thing become a big mess. This is the practice. If we try to put everything back to where it's supposed to be, every single thing, then nothing to be worried, nothing to be upset. Once you see a full house of mess, what do you feel? Upset. You feel very stressful. You feel no space. And once you feel no space, you get angry easily. And then you yell at someone, why don't you put this on? Why don't you do this on? And that person will yell back, then why don't you do it? So, what is blessed here? You know, I always remind. Sometimes I'm rushed. Okay? I'm in a rush. I throw my shoes. I walk a few steps. I say, no. This is what I'm sharing. This is what I thought. I should not do this. I will come back and fix my shoe. If you say, what are you doing? Why you come to Friday classes? Mindfulness. And every time when we blaming, this is how you practice mindfulness? That's why the Buddha said, even the very small mistake, but you still don't care about it, you just keep do it regularly, it's become a major evil. First only a mistake, but regularly it's become evil. If a tiny goodness, we still don't care and we don't do it, then nothing can be possible. If it's even small, but we do it regularly, it's become a major, a big merit. I used to give an example. Imagine the mailman. Just one very tiny thin mail, but thousands of mails is heavy. Now, he carried that heavy bag. He walked by every single house, he dropped one down. Just one single mail, one single letter. Later on, he will empty his bag. So sometimes we say, oh, just one pair of shoes, not a problem. One jacket is not a problem. One dish is not a problem. But let's imagine every single thing is not a problem. Then when you look outside, you see the whole thing is a problem. When you look at one thing, you don't see any problem. But when you stand in the center, you see the whole, it will be a problem. That's why we need meditation. So what do we do if we already have a big mess? Sometimes you feel, oh, I don't know how to start to clean up this room. Have you ever feel that way sometimes? Sometimes it's the whole mess and you don't know how to start. If you don't start at one corner or one piece, then nothing will be put up. Nothing will be clean. So don't worry this side. Now we need to focus to this corner. Focus to that corner. And then you clean this corner. And after this corner, it gives you more energy because this part is clean. Make you feel fresh. You can move on to another part. This is my experience. You know, sometimes on a big celebration and a big event, a lot of things come to me at once. So when I come to my room, I put everything, you know, around my room because I have no time to put everything back. So after everything done, I will close my door. I just focus to one side first. I put everything back nice and neat. And then slowly I turn around. Because the feeling of freshness is very important. So that you don't wait, please do not wait to someone to say good morning to you. Every morning when you wake up, you have to say good morning. Remind us, I must have a good morning. Good morning is not a greeting. You wait for someone to greeting us. But good morning is a mantra. Do you know a mantra in Buddhism? Mantra means a magic word. You don't have to say, oh, many pat me home in order to call it's a mantra. Mantra can be anything that help you to stand up, help you to be strong, to be energy. Let's say, I have my own mantra, don't be lazy. Every time you're lazy to do something, you have a mantra to recite many times. Don't be lazy. We have a lot of mantra. If you have a mindful practice, you can create your own mantra. In French, they call chocolate chocolat. Right? That's how French pronounce chocolat. And shuko in Buddhism means a nun. Shuko. La means yelling. Chocolat means the nun will yell at you. So that is our mantra every day for our jokes. Hey, if you don't do that, she will offer you a piece of chocolate. If you don't do it, chocolate. So mindfulness helps you to create something fun, to help you to move up in your practice. Since I'm young, I always create that in my mind. If I want to memorize a long prayer, I look through that and I will find, something fun from that part to help me to memorize easier. And this, I apply this way into my life too. Even sometimes things very hard to deal. But I focus to a positive thing to make me fresh and willing to deal with this, negative situation. It helped me a lot to go through many difficult times. So the reason I share, because I want to inform with you, mindfulness help you a lot in the practice. Don't think only in the temple. But without a temple, you don't know where to find mindfulness, to learn the basic of mindfulness. Then you can create. One day there was a lot of problems. A lot of things to deal. One man gave me a ride to the airport, and during the way to airport I'm singing. He turned around and said, "Thai, how can you still can sing?" I say, "What you want me to do?" Sometimes the freshness, even in a very difficulty person, a very hard person for you to deal, do not focus to the negative of that person much. Think about the positive, the goodness of that person, just a few points, even, still help you to overcome and help you to accept that person. Last week I was in the States, and I have helped a family who have a very hard situation. And during our conversation, and I told them, if you calm yourself down, and you will find some good points from that person, in order for you to smile at that person, accept that person, and let go and forgive. It's a very simple sharing, but that click right. And before he left, and he said, "I enjoy our conversation. At one point, you wake me up." And that is, reflecting on the good points of that person. In many days ago, I just, focused to the negative of that person, and I forgot about the goodness of that person. Sometimes you look at the full sink of dirty dishes, and this is what help you to wash the dishes with your happiness. Wow, I have a lot of Buddhas for me to bathe. Every single dish is a Buddha for me to bathe. And I know after I clean this sink, everything will be nice and neat. Everything will be clean. I always, create something positive when I'm doing things, in order to keep me in a good mood, in a happy way to do it. Sometimes I'm tired, physically. Let's say people call me around 3 in the morning. They say, "Thai, we need you in the hospital because my mom passed away." We have the right to say, "I'm sorry, I'm tired, I cannot go, I'm sick," whatever reason. But I won't say no. I will ask them the address, and I'm willing to go. Especially in the cold winter day. And while I'm driving, very quiet. And if someone who a little bit scared, they will scare the hospital. 3 in the morning, no one. With a big empty space. But I know I sacrificed about 1, 2, 3 hours, but I will make a lot of people in this family warm because of their loss. Thinking about the positive, it gives you good energy. So the Buddha answered to the prince, "I am the one who detached from desires, from hate, from ignorance. That's why I can sleep well." So when the Buddha said that he sleep well, sleep tight, we think there is some secret. But the secret here is learn how to put things away when we rest. That's all. It's like when we have a problem with our loved one. Okay? Never bring all the old things from many days ago back, and that will ruin the relationship. This is one of the arts. Why are you angry? Because he did that to me. It's happened now recently, then solve the problem that. Last month he did this, last year he did that. And you bring like 10 years ago to come back, you combine at once, it's become a measure. And this happened many relationships. Mindfulness will help us to see what is right in front of us to solve. Things already passed, let it pass. Things not yet come, don't worry. The point is, what are we doing in the present moment? How is our relationship? Somebody will worry, I am afraid our relationship cannot last long. This is what you're afraid. Then look back, how are you working right in the present moment? Worry for the future is all right, but need to come back to the present moment. How are you working? How are you dealing? How are you treating each other right in the present moment? In order to keep your relationship last long. I have a young couple. Within these 3 days, they have a big fight. And last night I talked to this young man and he told me he cannot stand his girlfriend anymore because she always brings back many problems from the past. They know each other for 7 years. And within 7 years, lots of problems. But every single time one thing happened, the past 7 years come back, become a measure. And he told me, I cannot stand anymore, Thai. I need your help. And every time like that, and they promise I won't talk about the old story again. But again, it's come back. Again, it's come back. That's why during the day, we don't know how to make the day good, then how can we make the night good? If we have a good day, of course, we have a good night. This is the law. Because the plan is already that, then the result will be that. There is no way that we plant an orange and we have a pepper as a result. We plant pepper, we have pepper. We plant orange seed, we have orange as a fruit. This is what we call the law of cause and effect. Today I would like to offer you a very short discourse from the Buddha. How the art to help you to have a good sleep. And the Buddha's art is very simple. If we know how to put aside everything not necessary for the night, then we will have a good night. And remember, things already passed, let it done. Things not yet come, don't worry too much. Focused to the present moment. How is your relationship? How is your communication? How is the way you treat each other? And remember, when you are unable to be happy, the person next to you is also not happy. When I go to the hospital to visit a patient that I know, and when I join my palms and I make my my short prayer to that patient that I know. But my energy is also embrace the next patient. Last week, I was in Montreal, and I went to the hospital to visit a few patients. And there was a patient who slept next to one of the patients I know. When I come there and I make a prayer, a short prayer for the patient that I know, after I walk out, he speaks French to someone there. The next day he said, I don't know what did that monk, when that monk came, I don't know what he did. But last night I slept well. I feel very light. I feel relaxed. I don't mean to show off with you about my power or anything, but I want to share with you about if you have a positive mind in you for someone, then not only one person can benefit, but few people around you at least will benefit. In our tradition, we used to say, if one person doing something good, the whole community will benefit. It's like a flower bloom. Many people can enjoy the fragrance of the flower. Only one flower bloom. It's like if I light up an incense in this room, not only me to enjoy the fragrance of the incense, but all of us, when we step into this hall, we all can enjoy the fragrance of it. So that's why when I teach my young monks, if one young monk done something wrong, the whole brothers accept the problem. I share with them. After that, I talk to them. I say, I know you did not do anything wrong, but I want to teach you the lesson of community. If one of your brother done something wrong, all the brothers affect. This is the energy of the community. We do good, many people benefit. If we do something bad, also many people benefit from that negative. So the mother, the father, very important to the children, because they are the main creators for the environment of the family. No matter how you disagree with each other, you need to find a spot to talk, but never argue, never yelling in front of your children, because that means yelling, that means screaming, become very negative for the children. It affects the children a lot. So mindfulness will become the light to shine very near and far, very clearly for all of us. I would like to offer you this small booklet. This is what we call the verses of mindful practices. This booklet contains almost 60 verses for your daily practice in both Vietnamese and English. This was done by, I collect all the verses for both languages, and some of the Vietnamese Buddhist member in the United States, they help us to make this book become a handbook like this. So I would like to offer each of the family, if you wish, you can have one book like this. You can take one for your friend if you think that person may need this book. Try to select some of the verses that you like and memorize it. Or you can rewrite or retype in a beautiful card and you take around your home, like in front of the mirror, at the handle of your door. When you open the door, there is a verse to open the door. There is a verse to open the window. There is a verse for you to reflect on the mirror. There is a verse for you to brush your teeth, to wash your face. So find something you like. You can make it and take it around your home. So every time when you come to that point to do something, you read it day by day. You memorize it. This is the way to cleanse your mind, to help your mind to maintain mindfulness day full. In the future, if we have time, I will slowly go over with the Sangha each of the Gatha and explain the meaning of it. So we can. This is a book like your friend. Maybe after you memorize many of these verses, you become a poet, because they are in the form of poem. So I would like to offer you this booklet as a gift, early Christmas gift. You can take one or two for your friend, for your family members, whoever you wish that you think you would like to offer them a book like this. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your attending. And as always, your presence nourish our practice a lot. Please enjoy the 3 sounds of the bell along with your breath. Please relax your legs. If you still have time, we would like to invite you to go downstairs for informal gathering, so we can have tea together with some moon cake. If you haven't had a chance to enjoy the moon cake, tea with Thai, so please come downstairs so we can have a short break together downstairs.